What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex, and today we are talking about the top 5 Intercontinental Champions within at least our lifetime. The last 30 years, you're not going to hear none of those historic names. These are guys around that impressed us when we were watching wrestling, when we were coming up from young men to the guys you see before us today. And I've got a panel today with me. Next to me, we got functional fitness athlete, Mr. Attitude Era fanatic, Ray Gabriel. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Nice to be here. Nice to be here again.
Good. And across from me, we have the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour.
Come on. It's your boy NK, you know. Man, the hour, too sweet to be sour. New Japan enthusiast.
The Hood's Japanese correspondent on wrestling. That's the man in the building.
Pleasure to be here, man.
And making his debut right here at WrestleManiac UK. Come like he just pulled out number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Something about wrestling podcast. Big up Gigi. How you doing, bro?
All good, man. Thanks for having me, G.
Not a problem. So, guys, as we get into this, the guys are going to start writing down their top 5 Intercontinental Champions. So, guys, if you want to start rattling the names down.
Don't be trying to steal my answers, bro. Don't even look at my things.
As the guys do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And we're going to see what these lot have to write. There's been obviously so many champions over that 30-year period that we're going to look at today. What's that, 1990 to present day? So many names. You say there's too many names.
I'm going to offend some people, but...
Bro, same.
You're going to have to, man. That's it.
I feel like I'm just going to put political ones as well. Like I have to. You know what I mean?
There's certain ones, yeah, you just have to...
Yeah.
You just have to pick. Like, do you know what I mean?
And guys, just so you know, this is all opinions, yeah? Don't come for my panel in the comments. Instead, put in the comments who your 5 are. Let us know who your 5 are.
I'm struggling with the last one, you know.
Good. I gave this some thought yesterday, so...
NK's writing China down, bro.
I said China. I'm going to have to do a quick one.
All right, so the lists have been written, and we're going to start with Ray first. So, Ray...
Shall I just reveal my board? Or?
You're going to just reveal your board, and let's see what's there.
Can you see that? The camera?
Yeah. So...
Man really said China.
Number 1,
100%.
Randy Orton. Number 2, China. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero. Number 4, RVD. And number 5, Chris Jericho.
5 was hard.
I'm so sorry.
It looks like NK has committed a capital sin over there now. But
We've got the greatest.
well, let's move over to Gigi. So Gigi, you want to show your board? So
Bret.
number 1, Bret Hart.
HBK. Y2J just for the reigns.
Chris Jericho.
Austin. I think Warrior's
Austin
going to be
and
a
Warrior.
bit controversial, but
Okay.
we'll go Warrior last.
That's cool. All right, last but not least, NK.
Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Rock, Chris Jericho, and Ziggler.
Cool.
Ziggles, yeah?
Cool. So there is some
This is good,
variation
this
in this
is good.
list, which is very, very good. Very, very good. All right, then. I don't know where do we want to start from in terms of controversial. Out of all of you guys' lists, if you look at each other's lists, what is the most controversial one that you'd say this other person picked?
You're not going to say China, innit?
China, bro.
It's got to be China. China's got to be there. I'll explain why.
Go on.
Listen, China was like, in a man's world, in that time as well, you got to give her props. You got to give China all the props in the world because she could hold her own in the ring. She was better than some men in the ring. And it wasn't like, you know, today in this era, some women's wrestling is forced, you know, some of it isn't polished. But China, she looked like she belonged there. And I have to say, she has to be there. For me, she didn't have like many long reigns, but just for her in-ring ability, I think Vince rated her enough to put that title on her because she could do it. So she's got to be there.
How many reigns did China have?
I think she had maybe 2. I think she traded with Eddie Guerrero a bit, with Chris Jericho a bit.
She beat Jeff Jarrett for it.
She beat Jeff Jarrett, yeah.
Jeff Jarrett got that big buck for that.
Yeah.
He got that bag for that fight, man.
So a few reigns, and I know she was quite highly rated in the company.
Not now.
Up to the point of her death, obviously. Yeah. So got to be China for me. Controversial.
Has he sold you on China, guys?
I can't lie. China can't go above certain names, man. Obviously, I respect what China did, and especially for a woman in the Attitude Era. Do you know what I mean? But like when you look at the list of Intercontinental title holders, China's not the name that comes to my mind. Do you know what I mean? If you go down the street and ask like, oh, who's been Intercontinental Champion before? People might get to China, but there's a lot of names you have to go through first before you get to China. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's more significant than, do you know what I mean, top.
Yeah,
Like, IC belt is work rate. You can't tell me China's work rate is like gonna second like HBK or.
I hear that. I'm just looking at it from a different perspective.
No, I
But
get it.
I hear you
I
guys-
do get it. I do
hear you
get
guys'
it
argument.
because
Yeah.
historically, first woman to hold that like men's title. Well,
100%.
she must have been, innit?
Yeah.
Especially in WWE.
And own it. Like, it didn't look like it was like just, oh yeah, let's just give it on slap it on China.
She was super believable.
That's
Super
what I rate.
believable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If I'm looking at your list, NK, I think my controversial pick on your list is The Rock.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a controversial one, but if you look at the time when I think The Rock had the title when
97, 98.
97, 98, and that
Yeah.
was just before, he reached, the
Brass
heights
ring.
that he did. You know what I mean? And I felt that obviously, I've watched stuff. I wasn't growing up during Attitude, so I have to watch stuff back in it. And the way they packaged it was kind of like that was the rain, but that was the calm before the storm. That was The Rock in it. So in terms of like significance, I feel that reign's significant, but I understand why that's a bit controversial because the other names on the list are workhorses, and the IC title has always been seen as that workhorse title. So it's understandable that The Rock may not be on a lot of people's lists, but I feel like that's the reign before he became the superstar that he is today. So I felt I had to put that on the list. I couldn't leave that one out.
Yeah, but for The Rock, it's not work rate. It's, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
his promo. It's
yeah,
his
true.
character. Like, so when it comes to the IC belt, yeah, it is the work rate belt, but The Rock is one of the greatest. And for
Yeah.
him to hold that belt, it puts that shine on that belt, you know what I mean?
I know this is often what the IC title is used for as well, but I think The Rock having the IC title was very much to just test his ability to be a champion rather than like everything else.
Yeah, but
you
then you
said
could
in terms of
argue anyone on this list.
Yeah,
was the
yeah. I
same
mean,
way.
but I mean, by then when The Rock won it, I think you could see there was something there. Like, and he doesn't fit the workhorse
that's
moniker
fair.
like these other guys
That's
do
fair.
at the same time.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, like your mid-carders like Dolph Ziggler, that's not been a transitional title, like for them, or your D'Lo Browns or
It
your.
was their
it was
brass
just.
ring,
Yeah, you're right.
that
Yeah,
was their
but
ceiling.
for most of the people we've got on these lists, like you're saying, it's a transitional title
stone,
to test the waters. Can you
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
a belt? What do you look like with a belt?
Yeah, that's true. And then Gigi, you said Warrior is your controversial pick, so go on, explain
man.
that.
Come at me.
Explain it. Explain it.
He dethroned Honky Tonk, which was the longest IC title reign ever.
Okay.
And he elevated it to the point where the IC title was basically as big as, if not bigger than, the world title at the time. He put it up against Hogan in the main event of WrestleMania 6. Do you know what I mean? That showed you that this belt means something now, because
That's when he walked out as double champion,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know. I think obviously I put him last for a reason, because his reigns may not have been as significant as the others, but for me, what it stood for at that moment in time, like that is a big moment in time, bruv. Like, especially when you talk to an older generation where it was Team Warrior, Team Hogan.
Yeah.
Like that did madness back in the day.
Oh, fair enough. Justified that pick
Yeah,
there.
yeah. What?
So go on, you lot. Now we have to make one list out of the names that we have. This is where it gets
So have we
fun.
got any like similarities then, innit?
You guys do. I think I see where you guys have picked your lists in the sense where I'm seeing Austin, I'm seeing The Rock, I'm seeing Shawn Michaels. I'm looking at it like these guys were IC title guys in the sense where they didn't really go to like multiple world championships. They like made the IC title glamorous. Like for instance, RVD made it exciting when he used to fight Jeff Hardy in ladder matches, etc. Sorry, go on.
Nah, I agree, but the reason why, I think the one for me that cannot be removed from the list is Shawn Michaels.
Nah, never.
That ladder match.
Razor
I mean, for
Ramon.
me, when you asked me the question, greatest IC titles, bang, straight away in my head, ladder match,
Ladder match.
WrestleMania
Shawn
10,
Michaels, Razor Ramon,
2
yeah,
belts
yeah,
on the
yeah.
top. Do you know what I mean? That's don't get any more IC
Yeah,
belt
yeah,
than that.
yeah.
But
That's why those are 1 and 2, because that match, like, not only did it revolutionize ladder match, but that's like probably the most iconic IC title match of all time, innit?
Yeah.
And it did so much for the title. So immediately when you said IC, those are the 2 names that just came up immediately.
But then, sorry to interrupt, the first ever ladder match in WWE was Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart for the IC title. So,
Even
but
then.
it rarely gets spoken about.
Yeah.
But because obviously, I mean, probably the better match, Shawn Razor.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I did say to you, Max, I was going to give special mention to Shawn Michaels for those matches.
Yeah.
But when I think Shawn Michaels, I think WWE champion. I think showstopper. I don't really bring him down to IC title level. I see, okay, he did this, but he's just gone on to so much more. He's in my top 5 WWE champions, 100%. But IC title,
You're looking at maybe the next tier of guys down.
I'm thinking the mid card guys who made it exciting, made me want to watch. Okay, IC title match. These guys are fighting. You know, I think a lot of the guys in your list were amazing wrestlers, but they just stepped it up. They took it to the next level.
Ray's going to take some convincing, man.
Yeah, I mean,
He's not going to budge on China, bro. China's going to be number 1 by the end of this, I swear.
So, do you know what? Because my thing with the IC title again, the reason why again Shawn, I'm banned for Shawn here. The reason why Shawn again is like number 1 again. If you think about what that title represents, it says the workhorse title. Who's arguably one of the greatest workers in WWE?
Yeah.
Shawn and
Bret Hart.
And Shawn, that's what.
Why is Brett on your list, bro?
Bro,
he didn't
I
make
don't
it.
know. You know what? It's about Brett. It's about Brett. Again, I'm flip flopping it because I kind of agree with his argument. Because when I think of Brett, I don't think of the IC title either. But again, like I said before, like when Mex sent me the DM IC title immediately, like it was just instinctual. It said Shawn and Razor.
Same, yeah.
was
But then
instinct.
I had to think about it for a bit longer and go, do you know what, yeah? When we're talking work rate and workers, I mean, that's where the tricky bit gets. Is it Shawn or Brett?
Shawn, yeah.
But you ask 9 out of 10 people, they're going to say the best ever worker was Bret Hart because of his technical ability. No,
Yeah.
Shawn can bump, yeah. Shawn can sell. Shawn can do all that, yeah. But Brett, technically, the man. And do you know what I mean? And again, when I think of IC title, I think of SummerSlam 92. Do you know what I mean? Bret Hart, that's the main event, bro. I don't know if any other event has seen the IC title elevated to the main event of one of the big 4 WWE pay-per-views. Like, I couldn't remember another time. I was racking my brain, but do you know what I mean? And Brett guided Bulldog through that match. You know the story of that match? Yeah. Bulldog was up all night with Anvil, partying, doing things he shouldn't do. And he was rough that day. And Bret Hart literally guided him the whole way through that match. And that's an iconic match for the IC title. So for me, that's why he's up there.
So as you guys can see, we're not making any progress on this list.
well, one we can agree on is Jericho on everybody's
Yeah,
list.
so let's talk about Jericho.
Okay, let's
then,
talk
and
about
we can-
Jericho then. So Jericho is the first name to be spoke of to make the top 5.
Yeah.
Where on this list? I guess it might come into discussion of who else is going to be on that list. But where do you think then Chris Jericho would rank on this list or should rank?
I don't think he's number 1.
No,
I don't think he's
no,
number
he's
1.
number 1.
Chris Jericho has the most reigns. You don't want to put him 1?
Nah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
You know what? It's not necessarily about how many reigns, the quality of the reigns.
Of course, yeah.
The only thing is though, with the amount of reigns, he's probably seen he's seen a lot of people during that time. Do you know what I mean? He's gone back and forth with a few mans, isn't it? So for that, you can give him props because the amount of times he's won it, he's seen different people throughout that time, innit? But yeah, like you're saying, it's not.
Right now, I want to put him at like 3, 4.
3 or 4, I agree.
3 or 4, around about 3 or 4. I don't think
He's top 4, but he ain't 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't think he's last. I don't think he's last in it. But I see around about 3 or 4 position. It depends who else we add on the list.
Right, let's stick
Ray,
in.
where did you put YTJ last?
I put Jericho 5th, yeah.
Okay, it's 4th.
That's the average, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
I
wanna,
put him 4th.
All right, Chris Jericho in 4th place.
we're getting somewhere.
Progress. Anyone else?
I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned Randy Orton for what he did with the title and how he moved it forward. Randy Orton's reign as IC champion, do you not remember it?
I think it
Cactus
was.
Jack,
I think it
Van
was.
Damme.
I should remember
I
it,
should,
but I
but
don't.
Well, you don't.
I think it
Well,
was
I do
very.
kind of.
I think it was very beneficial for Randy Orton. I'm not sure if it was very
for
very
the
beneficial
title?
for the title.
Yeah.
I mean,
you see what I mean?
I remember Evolution, loved Evolution, and I wasn't a fan of Randy Orton at the beginning, I must say, but when he started working with Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, when they had their feud, when the Legend
Sorry,
Killer
was
thing
that for the
started,
IC title?
he
I don't
had
remember. I
he
think
had it,
yeah.
At the time.
when he fought him. I think he defended it once against him, but it wasn't. Their feud wasn't really about the IC
Yeah,
title. It was more about the Legend Killer thing. But then when he kind of merged the two, him being the Legend Killer and the Intercontinental Champion, I thought it elevated it. I think he beat Eddie Guerrero along that run, Rob Van Dam along that run. Quite a few names.
Eddie, yeah?
I believe so. Yeah.
Don't remember.
And this is like a kid. Remember, he was
24,
20
25, yeah.
and he could really hold the ring. Obviously, he had Triple H, he had Ric Flair as his mentors. So, but it showed, you know. And I think culminating in him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So for that reason, he gave the Intercontinental title a nice long run, and it looked believable. And then he took the step again to World Heavyweight Champion. I know Randy Orton gets a lot of bad press, especially back then. So I know you guys might not agree with that.
Do you know what stales me, and I know we're going to come off topic a bit here, what stales me with Randy is just the whole Randy John Cena saga. Like, that's where I fell off for a bit, because them fighting every pay-per-view.
That was like, what, 2008, 2009 times?
2008, 2009, probably up to 2010.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I lost interest. I lost interest then as well.
I wasn't even watching them.
I remember when them two faced the entire Raw roster.
Yeah.
I see something on Twitter the other day about that.
Lord.
You know what? I think it was. Those two were the only...
Tell everyone come see me.
Yeah.
They were the only credible ones. And I think they put too much onto them to say, carry it now. But that was a bit of a lull for wrestling.
That was a poor
that
point.
period. Yeah.
100%.
Because when you said Randy, when you put Randy on the list, I had to myself, Randy wasn't IC title because he's so associated with the big one.
The big one,
he's like Cena. But do you know what? The difference between Randy and Cena is that you would associate Cena with the US title more than you would Randy with the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand why you said, because he had a few reigns,
And it was the open challenge.
Yeah.
The open challenge was proper.
The US spinner belt, like, do you know what I mean? He did stuff with that title. So.
Iconic.
There's a name on your list I'm quite interested about, The Miz.
I took him off, but he was there because...
Listen, I have to talk my things now. I know this is your lot's list.
Go on.
No.
But I think The Miz needs to be in the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. It was hard to take away.
Are you talking about...
Remember we're talking about in the last 30 years, right?
Based on the... Is it the run where he spoke to Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack?
Specifically the 2016 run. Yeah.
Okay.
That's after the Sandow stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That run was very good. I can't lie. That one was very good.
Sorry, this is when we didn't really have a world title and Miz was putting on for the...
Miz was, I think Dean Ambrose was world champion them times.
I swear there was an IC champ at one point, or maybe I'm thinking US title reign, but where we saw like... I don't know if it was Lesnar or someone, but there was no one showing up.
Yeah,
and then Miz was putting on like main event Intercontinental feuds, maybe.
Do you know what? Like, okay... Because I have Ziggler on my list, right? Who would you not say?
Well, technically, Miz isn't on his list. He crossed it out.
I wanted to put Miz there.
Okay, fair enough.
But I thought Jericho needs to be there.
Okay, fair enough.
But I have to... going off topic, I have to give him props because he was a very good Intercontinental Champion. But there was a time when The Miz, I didn't really like The Miz when he came from the real world. And
neither did I.
But there was a time when he really carried the brand.
He didn't even like The Miz.
Yeah, exactly. He was a bit corny, you know, his ring attire was a bit corny. But then when he came into the whole, kind of Triple H-y kind of, in a sense where it's just arrogant. You didn't really know why, but he was just arrogant and he would win, you know.
Good heel, bro.
Yeah, very good heel.
Nothing could take away from his heel work. Like,
and you love that, yeah. So,
But see, going back to Ziggler, yeah, so now you're bringing Ziggler up. The fond memories I have with him and the IC belt is that I'm thinking Kofi, Morrison, triple threat times. Yeah, so they put on some good, some good matches, man.
Yeah,
but
if you like, and that's where Ziggler, like, with the IC title, that's when people start seeing Ziggler. Ziggler is actually a very good wrestler. Obviously, we talk about Ziggler's ability to bump and sell.
That's his problem, though, isn't it? That's what holds him back.
Yeah,
he's too good at selling.
His ability to bump and sell, but during his IC title reign, I mean, like, he was putting on great matches. I mean, there was a point in time where Ziggler was like one of the best workers in the company. Do you know what I mean? So for that, I just had to give respect to Dolph Ziggler for his reign. Now I put him at the bottom because I don't think they're compared to the other people on the list. Maybe that's due to star power as well. But just in terms of like what I said before, what the title represents, I thought Ziggler was a great spokesperson for that title.
He probably held it quite a few times as well, man. Because I think him and Kofi swapped it back a few times.
Yeah, I think Dolph Ziggler's a 6-time champion.
Yeah, so I had to put him on the list, but I don't know if he'll make it into the overall list. Though.
So come on, guys, let's get some more names down on here.
I'll give you guys HBK to be fair.
Right, cool. So then we've got to place him.
Because I thought about HBK too.
See, I wouldn't be mad at him with first, yeah, but for me, I don't know. Just Brett is just
top two.
Yeah, top 2, Brett and
Brett
Sean.
and,
But
Brett and Sean. I'll give you Brett. Definitely not Razor though. I can't put Razor there.
yeah.
But I'll
So wait, are you giving Brett and Sean?
I'll give Sean and majority of rules on Brett. I say if you don't want to put Brett there, but Sean.
Brett didn't make
okay,
your
so-
list though.
Because I thought about Sean. That's why.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Brett, I can't lie. Brett was one of the ones I just forgot.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I'm more than willing to put Brett on the list.
how could you forget when I showed you this before we started?
Man
bro?
pulled out the figure, you know.
How could before we even started, G? I showed you this and you forgot about Brett.
I forgot about Brett, but yeah.
So, all right. So you'd be the perfect. Where would you put Brett and Sean then if you had to put them top 1 and 2?
I'll put Sean number 1. If we're gonna talk Shawn Michaels, I'll put Sean number 1.
I'm happy for this to be a democracy, bro.
Simply
and
for that match. To be fair,
Is everyone happy with Shawn Michaels number 1?
Yeah.
I mean, he's my number 1, so yeah.
And then number 2?
Brett?
I'll let you guys decide.
I think Brett and Sean are top 2. Like, because it's not only. This is why I was kind of tossing between like Bret Hart and Austin, and because when we talk about like iconic feuds, yeah. See, I even had to look back and remind myself that Austin Rock started with the IC belt. So, and is there many more iconic feuds than Rock Austin or Bret Hart Sean? Yeah. Their feud started with the IC belt. Yeah. And do you know what I mean? So that really elevated it for me.
Yeah, that's true. So we're gonna go with Bret Hart number 2.
Nice.
Now it's tricky.
Now it's third.
Yeah,
and
now
fifth.
it's tough.
Okay,
So it's a bit mad. 1 and 2 have been filled, which is usually the points that everyone's arguing over. We got 3 and 5th. Jericho's in the middle of them.
I'm looking at you guys' lists again.
I can't.
Don't pre our list, bro. Look at
No,
your
I'm
own.
advocating for Ziggler 5th.
Yeah.
I'm advocating for Ziggler 5th.
Above,
I don't know.
you know, we've got Austin. We haven't mentioned yet. Warrior's still there.
This is
Eddie Guerrero, Rob Van Dam.
Oh, Eddie Guerrero. Okay.
We haven't.
Yeah,
we
but
ain't
I
spoke
don't know
about Austin too tough. We ain't spoke about Eddie Guerrero too tough.
Eddie
Austin-
for me isn't the title reigns though. Like obviously I watched like the break it down for Eddie and like I think you mentioned it. Like it's not about titles with Eddie. Like although there's that obviously fond memory we all have of him winning the big one, over Lesnar, but. To me, Eddie's just Eddie, innit?
Yeah,
like, I don't see IC title. When I think about Sean, I think about the ladder match. When I think about like Brett, I think about IC titles or Y2J. But for me, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's not necessarily like obviously a list of the biggest stars. Like this is about the IC title. Who did what for the title?
Yeah.
Like G just said. When I think of Eddie, I don't think of the title. Like there's certain wrestlers that you pick. For example, when you think of Austin and The Rock. You often think of your first image is them with the title, but when I think of Eddie, I don't think of that. I just see Eddie as Eddie.
Guerrero.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't see him. Eddie's good with a championship, without a championship. It's like even Taker. When you think of Taker, you don't think of Taker with a title.
No.
Yeah.
But
Never
on that
needed
point,
it.
do you
Never
think of
needed
The Rock and Austin with the IC title though? Because that
No.
doesn't come to mind either.
No, but that's why when I checked myself and
Okay.
looked back, I was like, hold on a second, because he threw the IC belt into the river. That
Right,
whole
like,
thing,
he
like.
disrespected it.
So
yeah.
so that's why Austin went down a bit, innit?
Yeah.
Because he literally
disrespected
disrespected
the
the belt.
Yeah, I'm going back and say that's why Ziggler needs to be on the list, because when you think of Ziggler, you think of the IC title.
NK
I don't.
campaigning
I
hard for
honestly don't.
Ziggler.
I'm
Do you know what-
campaigning hard for Ziggler.
Do you know what I think of Dolph Ziggler? Or when I think of Dolph Ziggler, I just think of him flopping and bumping. That's all I think
Nearly,
of.
man.
Him,
yeah.
In IC title matches.
against.
The best
Better
title
wrestler.
match I've seen was the one with Miz 2016, where it was like, and if I don't win, I'm quitting. I'm done. And him and Miz put on a brilliant match, and he won at the end of it. But other than that, I can't.
I don't think of him, no.
Yeah, I don't really think of Ziggler in the realms of the Intercontinental Championship. I know, like we said earlier, he traded a couple times with Kofi Kingston and the likes, but
I think of his 5-minute world title reign, bro. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
I don't want to put dirt on your boy's name, innit? But
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not doing it's coming across like I'm a huge Ziggler
No,
fan.
I know,
I like
I know.
Ziggler. I do like him, but I just think in the modern era, especially, like in the last 10 years, I feel like the guy that comes to mind when it comes to IC title reigns is Ziggler.
Really?
do you know what's difficult when you think about this
Last
list?
10
Though?
years.
Yeah, in the last 10, I'll give you that.
Then you have to put Miz there then as well, no?
Yeah, but you
Even though he's not in the
Miz off
list, but I mean-
so we can't talk
No,
about
that's what I'm
Miz.
saying. Because that's what I was willing to have a debate about Miz and Ziggler because I think those are the two prime candidates innit, of this era. Because right now, this era is looking very 90s.
Yeah, no, I know. The thing, we should really try and have a fair representation of the lineage of the belt. But
Yeah.
for me, I don't know, man. It's just nothing's had the impact like these older mans have had.
To be honest, you could even split Attitude and then this current era.
You could, yeah.
I mean, okay, let's try and eliminate some names. Is The Rock going to make this list?
No.
No?
I'm willing to.
It's sad to say, but no, I don't think he does.
Is Razor
man.
Ramon going to make this list?
He's
Not for
only
me.
not.
Debatable, but
The thing is, it's just for that one match, though.
Yeah. Apart from
Tell
that,
me another match, IC title, Razor.
it's iconic though.
Ooh. Okay,
You
it
can't
sounds like
base
he's
it off
gone.
one match, like.
What about Randy Orton? Is he going to make this
did
list?
Randy Orton not get there? Was it like an 8-9 month
To me,
reign?
yeah,
Was it?
I would rather have Randy than Dolph.
What we're good
Interesting.
at 5.
Wherever it goes, if
I think Randy's got to be on that list.
I'm willing. I would rather have Randy in the list than Dolph Ziggler for sure.
Ah.
And I hate the IC belt he held as well. Ugly, the little one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the little one.
I said democracy in it. So what? All in favor of Dolph at 5.
I'm not voting. It's
I
just
can't
me
put,
three,
I
so.
can't put Dolph at 5. No.
Okay, all in favor of Randy.
I can't put
at
Randy
five.
at 5. Yeah, I'll put Randy at 5.
But I'm still gonna fight for Warrior or Austin though. It's like, and we've got
Okay,
two
well,
spaces
What
left.
were we at?
5 or the thing with Warrior. I know we just spoke about it's about one match, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's Warrior's only really 2 matches: the Honky Tonk win and the Hogan
Yeah, no,
battle.
Deep Fred
But
and Honky Tonk is something. It's something special.
it's
No, it's something special. But
We haven't discussed Rob Van Dam.
I was going to get to that point. You
You
don't
guys
think?
not rating
not
Rob
up there.
Van Dam?
Not up there. He's
Not Van
hardcore.
Dam.
He's hardcore champ. He's ECW. I just don't think.
think
Of,
He held the IC belt,
Quite a few
few times,
yeah.
didn't he?
Invasion period, 2002, 2003.
hardcore, I can't lie. When I think of Rob Van Dam,
You just think of ECW. Yeah.
ECW film.
I would think of. To me, I would go if I'm just going through like IC title reigns. I'm thinking Shelton Benjamin before Rob Van Dam. I don't know
Really?
why.
Really?
I've such a high regard for Shelton Benjamin. Yeah,
Good wrestler, yeah.
I just
but
think
Ben,
he
the
never
gold
got
standard, Yep.
like.
That was cold.
didn't get the props he deserved, you don't think?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Okay.
Right, it's okay.
This list.
But Rob Van Dam, that 2001 to 2003 period, when he came over during the invasion, I thought he was the only guy, because Invasion, ECW, they were heels, essentially. But he was the only guy
Yeah.
that WWE fans
They
were cheering.
couldn't,
They
yeah.
loved him.
Yeah.
'Cause he was that good. Like, I think he was quite transcendent in that sense, where he came in and, like,
Definitely.
you couldn't help but like Rob Van Dam. His style, like, his charisma, and he put on some good matches. He very hardcore, I must say. He did make the Intercontinental Championship very hardcore. I think they merged it at one point with European. They unified all
the
three.
IC and the European.
Yeah, but for me, I always be fond of, because Invasion was one of my favorite periods of wrestling. Period.
Really,
I love
that's
the Invasion.
controversial in
I
itself.
love the Invasion storyline. Just for
A
me
lot of
personally.
a lot of people like at the time loved it, but like now
Looking back
on it.
people
so many
yeah,
mistakes.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
Holes that you could
Then I guess
do.
back
Yeah.
then you didn't
In
know better,
hindsight,
innit?
yeah. But at the time, growing up, I thought, yeah, man, I love the whole idea of two brands clashing.
But I'm willing to come back to. I'm willing to.
Wait, one question.
Go on.
So Ray done his spiel for Rob Van Dam. Is any one of you two buying it?
Again, I'm still choosing Randy over Rob Van Dam. If I had to, if gun to my head,
I'll
Okay.
take Randy as long as you put Randy.
All
in
right,
there.
okay, cool.
I
So
could-
it looks
I'm
like
willing to concede on Randy.
so Rob Van Dam is out. So we've got 2 positions to fill. We've got 4 names which are still in contention: Austin, Warrior, Dolph Ziggler, and Randy Orton.
Okay.
We need 2 from those 4, and then to place them in the list.
1-on-1 in the car park. I don't know, man.
Austin, Warrior, Randy, Dolph.
Yeah, we need 2 of them, man.
Okay. Process of elimination. Who are you getting rid of first?
Dolph.
Yeah.
No second thought, G. Sorry.
They need the question. IC title.
Austin,
nice.
definitely get rid of Austin, I'd say.
Yeah, I think
Just
I have to
because
get
they
rid
threw
of
it in the
Austin.
river.
You have to get
Yeah.
you have to get rid of Austin.
Threw it in the river.
I mean, it's a fair point, bro. I can't argue with it.
So Austin's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Warrior
we're down
Ziggler.
to Warrior, Ziggler, and Randy Orton.
I've got to put Randy in
I
there.
think Randy cemented as in.
Yeah.
Right? Where he's in.
If I'm losing Austin, then yeah, Randy goes in, innit?
Okay.
Randy's in.
Over
That's it.
Dolph.
So Warrior or Ziggler then?
Warrior or Ziggler.
Is that what you're
Warrior.
saying?
100%, bro. Warrior. Are you mad? Warrior, bro.
Yeah, other than that match, what else?
You don't need nothing else.
That's what I mean. But remember,
That's
we said
iconic
Razor
moments,
Ramon came down to one match.
No,
You said
I
Warrior
said
came
that,
down
though.
to
I
2
said
matches.
that. I
Yeah.
said
So
that. But Dolph Ziggler, like, it's just not. There's no iconic moment though, innit? On the other side of the coin, yeah. All right, like it's 1 match, 2 matches, but they're iconic moments. Tell me a Dolph Ziggler iconic moment with an IC belt, apart from maybe Kofi like doing his like monkey flip and Ziggler doing a 450 or whatever it was he used to do to sell it.
I mean,
No, tell me that.
you're gonna hate me,
it's a
but
question.
I just don't think of IC when I think of Ziggler. I just
NK,
don't.
tell me an iconic
You
moment.
man are killing
I just
me.
don't think.
You man are killing me.
I think of Ziggler as just like, and he's a good seller. That's it. Like you'll have a great match with Ziggler, but he doesn't strike me as that guy for the IC title. I remember him once for a great Money in the Bank cash in against Del Rio. That's what I remember Ziggler for.
I think
I think majority rules.
Is it fair to put Randy Orton third?
3, but then is he above Jericho?
Over Jericho.
Is he
Over
above
Warrior.
Jericho?
So I'd say switch Randy and Jericho.
So Jericho's been upped to third.
We haven't really spoken about Jericho though.
We,
Like, I
but
know we
all
will
agreed
agree
he
on
has to
him,
go
but-
in.
No, but I think
And if you're not going to put Jericho above Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, then he's
Yeah,
third,
go
isn't
third.
it?
Yeah, I
So,
guess. But I mean, I would still sit here and argue Warrior would be higher than that. But
does Randy Orton going fourth?
Over Warrior.
Does that mean Warrior then gets in?
I mean, these guys.
yeah, Warrior
And
gets in over Ziggler.
I'm not saying Warrior has to be in, but he's over Ziggler. Because Ziggler for me doesn't need to be there. But if we're coming down to, I'm sorry. If we're coming
NK,
to,
it's all falling apart.
if we're coming,
Unbelievable seeds.
if it's a
I don't
process
know,
of
you know,
elimination,
I don't know if I can let like Randy Orton go above Ultimate Warrior for about IC titles. I just don't know. Like,
He's on the list though.
yeah, I know, but above below Randy Orton, after walking up to Hogan and being like, "This is mine, yeah, I want yours as well." Like the clash of like the two biggest
it's
belts.
a point. It's a point.
Honky Tonk Man, longest reign ever. Yeah, get out. 2 minutes, you're done. Give me your belt. I'm running with it.
So what, Ziggler and Warrior is the conversation.
No,
I don't
Randy
mind
and
where Warrior
yeah.
goes as long as Randy
No,
Orton's got to be there.
I think it's established that Randy and Warrior are going in.
Yeah, just
So
4th or 5th.
NK's conceded defeat on Dolph Ziggler.
I have to, fam. I have to. Because like, I have to. I fought hard, though. I got Ziggler far. You know what I mean? Listen, I got them to take. I got them to consider Ziggler before Austin. So, hey, man, it is what it is.
So
what it is.
you're gonna have to probably be the tiebreaker then, innit? So because we're getting but one of our boys in, yeah. So like, where and why? Why over Warrior though for you, innit? Like why?
Just what? Obviously, when it comes, and again, this is just based off what I've seen as well. I wasn't there to see Warrior Hogan in it, so there's a bit of bias when it comes to like I saw Randy Orton.
Yeah, I wasn't there either, but it's just like fond memories I have as a child, innit? Like
when I think of like what these man did, obviously Warrior took the title to Hogan, won the double champ, but didn't he vacate the title?
yeah, but don't worry about
Vacate,
that.
like, bro, after after the biggest moment you have, you just vacate the title. It's like, come on. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I was to see you as IC champion, you're supposed to respect that belt.
Yeah, but what's New Japan gonna do, bruv? They're gonna have to do something with these double belts eventually as well,
That
man.
also, hey, New Japan's a different story.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, innit?
But like he vacated it immediately though. Like it was quick. It was a massive turn. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he held the title for a few months, defended it, then vacated. He's like, no, I got this new toy now. That's this one.
Yeah. To be fair, like I like this one better, innit? This one.
Yeah,
I like
just that like.
For me, that goes in the same realm as Austin throwing the title away.
Yeah,
So
like, you
maybe
can't do
Warrior
that.
has to finish fifth
He has to finish fifth for that.
on disrespect.
You know what?
He took it off.
I got Warrior in, innit?
He took
So-
it off. Yeah, that's
And to be fair, why am I arguing so much? He's 5th on my list, bro.
Fair enough.
yeah. So Randy's, we all agree on.
Yeah, go on.
Randy 4th. Yeah.
I'm surprised he got in, but good work, man.
Oh,
I respect it.
At the end of the day, the message is respect Dolph Ziggler. That's it, man.
The message is respect Dolph Ziggler.
Respect Dolph Ziggler.
So, guys, we have finally put together this list, and the list reads as number 1, Shawn Michaels, number 2, Bret Hart, number 3, Chris Jericho, number 4, Randy Orton, and number 5, the controversial Ultimate Warrior. Guys, how did you find that, putting that together?
That was painful. I was painful. yeah, like it just made me not appreciate the IC title more, but it's like, wow, like I didn't think I'd be having a debate about IC title. Like,
Do you know what's difficult though? Like when you said about it's subjective, innit? Like,
Yeah.
do you go the greatest wrestler to hold it because Ric Flair held it for 2
Yeah.
minutes,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
do you know what I mean? You can't argue with Ric Flair, like. But it's about what they did with that belt,
Yeah.
or do you know what I mean? That was the difficult part to try and separate.
Yeah.
Because if you're just picking the best wrestlers to hold that belt, this list may be
It's very
completely different.
Yeah,
It's just-
100%.
It's gonna be all star power. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like just how much attention can you bring to the title, and exactly what you said. What you do for the title. Do you know what I mean?
Not what the belt does for you, but what do you do for the belt?
What do you do for the belt? Because all of the people on the list, right? They have their moments with the belt. We can all agree. Everyone on that list has had a moment with the belt where the belt has looked spectacular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so I thought that's the importance of a champion. A champion, you're supposed to make the belt mean something. So
Definitely.
So that's why you didn't make it, Austin. Dashed it in a river.
Austin, dash it away. So, guys, that is our list. Let us know what you think of the list that we put together down below in the comments, and any controversial picks that you think should have made it, or names we have forgotten here completely. Let us know as well as your 5 names for the Intercontinental Championship. Thank you to Ray, NK, GG that all came through today to put this list together. You're going to see more lists on the channel, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.